Love Squad, are you ready for season 2? Click here if you're going through Lovecraft Country withdrawals, because I am. So, one thing I wanted to do was share a little commentary about the book versus the series. I'm Kim B, aka Glam Powered at Glam Powered. Subscribe if you are a part of the Lovecraft community. So, here are my thoughts on Lovecraft Country, the book versus the series, and some commentary on the differences between the two. Let's start with the differences. All right. So, where do I start? First of all, let's start with the people, right? So we have Horace, who is D, right? Then we also have no Christina, but Caleb. And William is Will. He's just himself. He's actually a servant or like a butler in the book. What else? I'm doing this off the top of the dome, y'all. What else? Oh, okay. So there's no Gia. Gia's not there, and no Yahima. Okay, so those are the main differences in terms of the people. Now let's get into a few more things here. So Montrose gets shot by Caleb, and his energy body is affected, not his physical body. So it's like he has like phantom pain. The medical community would call it phantom pain, but he lives. And then Montrose isn't weary of Sam. I think I'm trying to remember, like, because I took these notes a little while ago. Montrose isn't weary of Sam. He tells Atticus to be weary of Caleb, right? So that was the difference. Like, nobody was really checking for Christina at first in the series, but they were checking for Caleb in the book, if that makes sense. And Montrose said to Tick, if you get the chance to throw him in the pit, take it, right? He was already knowing. He was like, So weary of Sam, the father. And then the sons of Adam symbol. They have here, I have the quote here. The star is a 5-pointed star that formed from 5 lines, as though an ordinary pentagram had been destroyed by a magnetic field. It's reliant on the etheric energy, the energy that energizes everything else. We saw that the stars throughout the series a little bit. They were sprinkled in there, especially like for the first episode, and I want to say maybe like episode 2. They were definitely there, and we saw them towards the end too when Tick started to do his own spell work. But I just wanted to clarify a little bit more about what that was, because that was helpful for me reading the book. I was like, oh, now I understood it better, so I wanted to bring that up. And then what else? Okay. So the Packard is immunized. So Woody is immunized in the book, but in the series, it wasn't. And I thought that Christina's car in the series was, but later on we see that, that car went through a lot. I think it was immunized, but it was kind of understated. But we didn't really see that too much. But they had immunized Woody in the series, in the book, and basically they were able to hide from the police or be undetected by folks that they had no business, being around. So that was good. The house did not fall in the Winthrop. What is it? The Blake Wright house didn't fall, but everyone turned to dust in the book. Tick just walked out. Okay, so he just walked out of the house. It wasn't this whole explosion situation that happened. And Letty gave Hippolyta the ore. Okay, she gave it to her in the book. They also have the Prince Hall Masons, and I think they might have missed. George might have mentioned the Prince Hall Masons in that first or second episode, but they are the ones that go on the, in the series, they have the Raiders of the Lost Ark episode. They are the ones that go and do that. They go to the museum and they do that whole business. It's not Tick, Letty, George. It's not them. I almost said George. Montrose. It's not them. They don't do that. It's the Prince Hall Masons that go to the museum. Um, and it would have been cool to have seen them kind of depicted more in the series. I wouldn't say that they were like a super. I mean, they were important enough. They were important enough for me to be bringing them up. I would have loved to have seen that. That would have been good. So we'll see what happens season 2, because she could still, she being Misha Green, could still draw from some things that they didn't put into to this season. So let's see what they do with season 2, because I'm thinking about magic, right? I mean, they ended this book in the series squatted up with magic. So can you imagine if the Black Masons had access to this? Because they were already on some magical ish anyways. They were already on their magician ish anyways. But now they got like they know what to do. You know what I'm saying? That would be interesting. That would be real interesting. So there is that. And then Hippolyta names a comet. In the book, she named Planet X, aka Pluto. In the series, it's called Herod's Chariot. Nah, it was Pluto in the book. And then what else? There's this ledger situation of the Freemans. The family, they have this slave ledger. That is like it's basically in the book they're trying to get their reparations basically for all the years that their ancestor had, been a slave, and they kept trying to get that money. They didn't really go into that in the series at all. So that was that. The other thing, like, I remember when Ruby had her episode, right? Her transformation episode. I was so mad because I knew from episode 2 who the lady was, the sheriff of Ardham, the lady that became Ruby, the white lady, the white Ruby. I knew that that was her because I read the book and I connected those dots. So I was mad because in the book, Hillary is a redhead, and I was here for some Jessica Rabbit. Like y'all in the book, the way he described her, Matt Ruff was like something along the lines of like they had this stained glass window, like in a church situation, with a depiction of Adam and Eve, and he had said in the book that she looks like Eve, and even Tick was like, dang, like, he didn't say it like this, but he was like, she fine, like she was this exquisite redhead, and we just didn't get that. No shade to the actress that played her, but I was here for some Jessica Rabbit, some Eve. Like we didn't really get that. We got something else. So that was a kind of a disappointment. I was like here for it. I was here for it. We didn't get that. We did get, I think, in that, what was that, the last episode, or the penultimate episode, where Ruby was like, I fancy myself being a redhead. So they did sprinkle it in that way, but nah, that one, nah. I needed for her to be Jessica Rabbit. I was here for it. That's what I was like. I was rooting for that. They didn't do that. Then, what else had happened? Let me go back. I'm in between multiple screens here, trying to keep my notes together. So Tick is given a note which turns everyone into dust by Caleb in the book. So in the series, he gets a ring by Christina. This was earlier on. So they swapped that out. And like I said, I don't know if I said this or not, but George didn't die. He's with us from beginning to end. He lives and he goes through all the stages and adventures with them in the book. And Letty befriends the Winthrop ghost in the book. Like, they become homies, and the ghost helps her. She does not exorcise the ghost. And Tick and Letty have a strictly platonic relationship. There is no romance. Wasn't nobody getting nothing in this book. HBO, like, oh, I mean, the love, the romance, nobody was getting nothing in this book. And Hippolyta goes to a different dimension. Okay, she doesn't hop times, but she does go to a different dimension, and there's a whole backstory to that. I won't spoil that. If you're interested, read the book. It was interesting. And then let me see. I'm trying to see. There was something else I want to say, y'all, my brain is like, I'm not gonna let you remember that, so let me move on. In the end, the Book of Names is retrieved from another character in the book, and the family just strips Caleb of his powers. Not all white people. So that was a difference. That was a big difference. When Letty said that in the series, I was like, dang, like they took that and they just turned it into they took it to a whole nother level. So those were the differences. Those were the differences. Now let's talk about, like, my final thoughts. Is the book better than the series? Is the series better than the book? So the book was definitely one of my favorite listens of the year, top 3. The series just took the book and elevated it to a whole nother stratosphere of greatness. It just did. It just did. I definitely recommend reading the book. It will give you more insight and connection into the series and its characters, like backstory. Like, we got a little bit, they did a really good job in this series of like incorporating backstory for the characters, but you get some more nuggets out of the book. It definitely gave me perspective on Montrose and Michael K. Williams' portrayal of him. He really tuned into this character, y'all. Like, man, I mean, some of the stuff that Montrose said in the book, daggone, like when he said some of the stuff he said, I was just like, oh my God, the emotion, like the tears. One thing he said was, in the book, Montrose said, he was just talking about how he is, why he is the way he is. He said, that's the horror of having a child you can do nothing to protect. Can you imagine? He's living in this world where he knows that his child's fate is sealed and there is nothing he can do about it. And like that scene in the book just really, I was just like, whoo, Montrose, like the depth. You get it in the series too, but it hits different in the book. So I really, like, if you're interested, I really definitely read the book. And what else? I've never seen a series or film adaptation give a book, the source material, a run for its money. But Lovecraft Country, the series, did just that. Shout out to Misha Green to having the vision to take something that was already great and turn it into something fantastic. Okay, so those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. The series definitely gave the book a run for its money. Like, me can't lie. It did. And like I said, I have never seen that. And I'm actually, shout out to Twilight fans. I don't know if y'all know the Twilight community, that Stephanie Meyer came out with a new addition to Twilight, the saga, about 2 months ago. So I'm just now getting to it on my listen list, Midnight Sun. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, the first Twilight movie was trash. I was upset. Right? They didn't give nothing a run for its money. That director effed up that whole first movie. I was livid. I was upset. I was hurt. We didn't get that with Lovecraft Country. We got oh my gosh, like they did this? What? We got what? That's what we got. Never seen that happen before. Never seen that happen. So that's it, you guys. Click like if you're here for season 2. Oh my gosh, I am waiting. Comment hashtag Lovecraft Country season 2. Let them know. Share this video with your friends as well and tell them to comment hashtag Lovecraft Country season 2. Because we need it. We need to spread. They need to know. And you know what? We need this in our lives. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.